This is the headlight from my 2018 Tacoma. I have a off-road, and as most guys know, they all have the chrome housings. I hate this, so I want to black this out. This is a video just on how I did it, not necessarily a how-to, but you can see what I did here, and if it's successful, maybe take some pointers. If it's unsuccessful, just don't do what I did. But yeah, so we're gonna do some baking and see if we can't break something. So first thing you're gonna want to do is get your headlight cleaned up, get you a towel laid out, something cute so you don't scratch it all up. You want to remove all the screws, everything that you can find all the way around the edge, and then you're going to want to take out the headlights and, you know, marker light, everything. Okay. And then on this headlight you got the little guy up here, and like I said, I pretty much just take off everything that I can just to avoid heating up a bunch of stuff that doesn't need to be heated. So with these guys, just don't touch them. Set them to the side, somewhere they'll be safe. This guy, you just pull out this plug, and then you got this big plug down here. Now all this stuff I'll just set to the side. Right here is this little connection for your driver light, or your driving lights. So you just unplug that guy, and then this whole harness pulls out the top here. I also like to take out is these guys. Probably don't have to, like I said, we're not doing crazy heats, but they're just like little buffers, but they have like a soft foam on the inside, and that stuff's probably not gonna do too well with the heat. I think there's three of them. I'm gonna do the oven at probably about 240, and I'll put it in there for anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes. I mean, probably about 7. Just do like a happy medium, and then I'll have to reheat it a couple of times in between. Alright, so I got caught up in this mess and didn't realize that I wasn't recording. So, little update. I got everything pulled apart. Looks like a bear got a hold of these. It is a challenge, no doubt. So I went around all the way around it, just prying it off with the flathead screwdriver, just to kind of break it free. And then I found it easiest to just keep it hot, like only keep it out for maybe 2 minutes at a time. And once you did that, I started down here in this corner, and as you can see, it's pretty ate up. And you can heat this back up with the heat gun. This stuff's pretty malleable whenever it's when you get it hot. So I plan to just heat this, like especially this area up right here, and go ahead and kind of smash it back together, smooth it out. I'm using the retro rubber from Morimoto in the seam here to put it back together. So I took all of the original, I'm pretty sure it's like a permasil, but I took all that stuff out all the way around. And anyways, I already painted all of my housing and stuff. I didn't think I needed to show you guys how to paint, but something I did want to show you that I think turned out pretty cool. So I took apart the reflectors on the side, and then I taped the face, painted the back, so it kind of gave it this smoked look. And then I taped this little area here where the marker light goes, you know, and it turned out looking pretty badass. I mean, the video doesn't really do it justice, but it's got an awesome smoke look to it. And then I've seen a lot of people do the flat black. I went with the semi-gloss, and it pretty much matches the black that was already on, you know, the out surrounding part of the bezels and stuff. But anyways, I'm gonna get this guy slapped together. Alright, so I got these installed back on the truck, all the way put back together. They look pretty nice. It's bright outside, so it's kind of hard to see, but they turned out pretty awesome. So I took the grill back out and this shroud so I could show you guys a little bit closer of what I've done here. I used the Butyl. That's the #1 thing I recommend. It doesn't matter what brand you go with, just get Butyl. It's nice because you can reheat it, and just with a heat gun, or hell, even a blow dryer would probably get it hot enough. So if you run into any issues with leaking or anything like that, you can reuse it, because the or just heat it up and, you know, push it down and make sure you got a good seal. As where with silicones or anything like that, once it sets up, and then if it leaks, you have two options: either you take it all the way apart and clean it up and redo it, or you just keep adding, you know, gooping it on or putting it in the seams. I mean, it's not necessarily the worst idea, but I think that for the money, I mean, what's 10 extra bucks or 15 extra bucks to just do it this way? And I love it. I've done other headlights like this with Butyl, and it's awesome. So anyways, that's what I used on this. But enough about that. On this, it's definitely Permasil that's in this channel here, and it's a beast to work with. Honestly, if I was to do this again, I would come in probably with a Dremel, and I wouldn't be so much concerned about these tabs, because you have screws that hold this in too, not to mention the sealant that you're going to put in will hold it also fairly well. But these tabs, like if you look at, whenever you take your headlights out, if you choose to do this, if you look at these tabs, there's not even any tension on these tabs. These tabs are just kind of like resting around the little connection, but they're not actually holding it on there. So with that said, I don't really see the need for it. But what I would do is, to make things way simpler, is I would take a Dremel and get you a little cutoff wheel or one of those little diamond discs, so it doesn't melt the plastic. It just kind of cut it out. Leave yourself a little bit on this edge here, but I would go through and I would cut most of this off, excluding, you know, the parts where your actual mounting tabs are, your brackets. You would be that much closer to being able to get the flathead in there and around the backside, because that's the terrible thing. So with Butyl, usually you can just kind of break this top seal loose and tug on it, and it doesn't take much to get into, seriously, like one corner and pull the thing open. As where with this guy, that was not the case at all. You had to get from here all the way into there, and then, I mean, there's still, you know, sealant on the backside and on the other side inside the channel, and man, it doesn't want to let go. So you get in there and you're really cranking on this thing. And I mean, yeah, so like I said, that's my suggestion, is if I was to do it again, this is not impossible. I did it. It turned out it doesn't leak. I've hit it with water. I live in Utah. We've had some rain, some snow. I've ran through all of it. It's fine. But for the simplicity of it, if it was me and I was to do it again, that's what I would do. The thing with the Permasil is, because it's set up just like a silicone, the silicone will stick to anything you put it to. But then once you lift it off that, it's not going to re-stick itself. It's just free. And it's the same with the Permasil. Once I was able to break it loose, it didn't matter if I put it back in the oven or not. It didn't matter. It wouldn't re-adhere. It was just loose. So it was just this painstaking situation of going through and trying to break everything loose without breaking stuff, or, you know, completely chewing it up. But anyways, there's my rant. That's what I would do differently. But as you guys can see, it's pretty straightforward, man. I'm sorry I didn't film the actual separating of it, but really, like I said, there's nothing you would have gained from that, other than, yeah, watching me just look like an idiot. So that's why, you know, I figured I would do it this way, put it back together, let you see the end results, and then I could come and offer you sound advice. And I think the reward is worth the risk, honestly. I mean, when you factor in the price, you know, 25 bucks or whatever for Butyl, and like, I don't know, $5 for, so $30 invested in this maybe. But I think it turns out looking badass, man. And like I said, all I'm doing now is I'm just running over this, just because this is the only section you'll really see with the hood up. I'm just trying to make it look somewhat pretty, I guess. But that's it. So I hope you guys can take some pointers from it. And yeah, man, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, help me build this channel. I'm going to continue doing more stuff like this. And yeah, we'll catch you guys in the next one.